The Chiemgauer. Now the Chiemgauer is a dance that our club first performed in the late 1990s. It was actually taught to us by Klaus Hornell, who is actually co-hosting the Trachten workshop. So it is a dance that you do with the girls, so it's not just a Burschenplattler. And I'll show you the very beginning. It actually starts a little differently than most of your dances, right? Because instead of holding right hand to left hand, we're both going to be holding each other's hands with our right hand. So we do our Eingang, and then I spin her around, and then I catch her like this. So we're not going to do an Ausdreher, it's just around and catch her in this position. So let's all try that. Grab your girl. Da 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 da, da 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 da. So is everybody?
Hello, Adam and Rochelle.
So here we are.
Okay, we need, yeah, the guys need to release their workshops so that we have more guys.
Okay.
Hey, look, there's guys coming. We are in need of guys.
Come on, gentlemen.
Guys.
So you see, now we're in a position where I've got the girl to my right and I'm on her left. And the first thing we're going to do, it's going to be a 1, 2, 3 step, a waltz step, and we're all going to move to our right. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then on the next part of the music, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. And it's really obvious with the music, right? And we do that, we repeat that sequence one more time. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Okay, so simple enough, right? Okay, now it gets harder. So what we do next is actually, it's going to be for the gentlemen a Plattler portion. And ladies, what do the ladies do at this point?
The ladies, okay, at this point, we actually, while the guys are doing their Plattler, we spin right next to them. So they're,
we're doing,
at that point you're in place or you're moving?
At this point, gentlemen, when we do the Plattler, we are going to be moving forward, and we're going to be moving side by side with the ladies. So while they're spinning forward, we're going to be doing our Plattler sequence in the forward direction.
Okay, so I'm going to skip one step ahead too so the ladies know what to expect. We're moving with the guys, spinning forward, but then they are going to, at one point you'll hear a change in the music when we're on that, and they're going to put their finger out there for us. We reach up, get their finger. Guys, you need to watch for the girl's finger because we're busy spinning. We're just going to put the receptacle there. So,
yes.
If you can't find us, okay?
Once you're finished with the Plattler sequence, gentlemen, you do stick out your index finger so the lady can latch on, at which point then we'll continue moving forward. So to teach the Plattler sequence, yes, you're going to need to know this. It starts out, so we do this and this and that, and then you distinctly hear it in the music. You start it with the right stomp, left, stomp, right? So simple enough. Bum, bum, bum. Okay? Then after we do that part, bum, 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 forward, left, back, left, stomp, right? So we did the stomp, left, stomp, forward, left, back, left, stomp. Okay, let's all try it together once from the very beginning. 5, 6, 7, 8. Stomp, left, stomp, forward, left, back, forward, stomp, right? And at that point is then when you stick out your hand to catch the ladies. So let's maybe try it with a little bit of music if we could. Let's all do that beginning sequence to the music, ending where we stick our hands out for the ladies to catch it. So we'll start with our Eingang.
Oops, switch hands, sorry. See, here we're, good catch, Kirsten.
Finger up. Okay, so what happens at that point? So we just got finished with that sequence, and now, after this, we still do the waltz step as we're walking next to the girl and she's spinning, and when the music changes, we release, And then, gentlemen, we keep our hands up in the air, and we do a Stampfer. So we're now all facing into the circle. And we've got the ladies.
Ladies spin right behind, or if you're super cramped for space, go to slightly past your guy.
Ladies are behind us spinning in place. So the hits we're going to do, not too complicated. First, it's going to be a 6-hit sequence, after which it becomes a 9-hit sequence, right? And so the six hit sequence, I always like to liken it to like a windmill, right? Because your arms are going to be really around and moving like that, right? And so the first part of that 6-hit sequence, you're going to stomp and hit with your right hand at the same time. So your right hand comes down, stomp. So it's going to be stomp, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stomp, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And so once you stomp with your right leg, you're going to move it back up, and it's going to stay in the air. Your left leg is going to remain planted the whole time. Okay?
We do an and hit.
So let's try that together. 5, 6, 7, 8. Stomp, left, back, forward, 3. Left hand is always going to hit like this on your left leg, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 1, 2, 3 is back, 4, 5, and end it with the 6. Do we have questions at this point? Do we want to? Yeah, see, Rudy knows it.
Rudy may have taught us.
Yeah. Okay.
This hit's supposed to look like you're slapping your leg down.
No, it's just a normal left-hand hit. Yeah, the way our club does it, we just end it like this on the left. Okay.
I
So
learned it from the other San Francisco.
why don't we try it up to that point? Starting out with the Eingang, then we're going to do the walking next to each other. We're going to do the walking Plattler sequence while the ladies spin next to us. Once we finish up, gentlemen, we stick out our right hands. They catch our hands. And then we step a little bit more and then stomp into the circle. And then we're going to do the 6 hits that we just learned. All right. Musik bitte. Other hand. Okay, thank you. Okay, so not too bad. So we did the first 6 hits, and the good news is now it's just a Neunerschlag, except you don't cross over with your left hand, right? So it's just going to be, so we started out the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the 9 hits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And then the Plattler sequence is just going to go back and forth between the 6 and the 9. It's going to kind of look like this. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so like I said, the Plattler part we learned is just going to keep repeating itself. Any questions on the Plattler sequence, gentlemen? We're all good? You're all lost. Okay, Adam's lost.
It took me 2 years to learn this.
Okay. So I always break it up between 6 and 9. So,
I still haven't learned the first 6.
oh, the 6?
Walking sequence, I didn't pick that up.
Sit. And oh my gosh, I realized I just forgot a hit with my left in the walking sequence. Okay, walking sequence again. What's that? Actually, could I hear it with music, please? Makes it a little easier for me. Oh.
You get it.
And here it comes. And then one, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stop. Okay. So we'll revisit the Plattler. Trust me, there's plenty more. Once we finish up the Plattler sequence, at this point we're going to catch our girl so that we can waltz, right? Wrong, we're not going to waltz. We're going to do a different kind of Einfangen. So once we're done with the Plattler, we take one step left, clapping to the beat, right? Bum, clap, clap. Plant your right foot, clap, clap. Step forward, clap, clap. Right, clap, clap. Left, clap, clap. Right, clap, clap. Right, clap, clap. And then catch your girl like so. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be next to my girl while she's spinning. And then when the music is right, I'm just going to kind of jab in like this, right? I'm going to have my left hand leading. I'm going to have my right hand behind me. And I'm going to go like so.
Cool. Yeah, it's basically just like a hammer lock that you're just, and you can, girls, you'll hear it in the music, so you'll know when you need to be turned around to the right spot once you get used to it.
It is a distinct part in the music. So why don't we maybe, why don't we start with the Plattler sequence, and then we'll transition into the clapping, and then we will get into the part where we've got, what DeeAnne called it, the hammer lock. The hammer lock. We'll get into the hammer lock position, right? Okay. So for the Plattler?
Yeah. I think we've got it. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll call out the Plattler hits while we do it. Okay. So if we can just start the Plattler sequence, I will call out the hits nice and slow, please. Only, how about just the stomping part for our Eingang, please? Okay, and now let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stomp. Left clap, clap. Right clap, clap. Next to your girl. Hammer lock. Okay, now, before we continue with the dance,
Stay where you were. Stay there.
one of the keys, as we're traveling around the circle like this, make sure you're leaning away from your partner a little bit, right? Because that'll give you a little better tension so that you can get around the circle. Because if my partner and I are just kind of like this, it's really going to be hard for me to get around and also for her to get around. Whereas if we've got this tension here, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. See how nicely that works?
You want to show them the turnout, though.
Oh, the turnout?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Of course, we're going to want to get out of this position because we want to continue on with the dance. So to get out of this position, what do, DeeAnne? First, we have to let go hands.
The guy leads.
Well, it was a rhetorical question. So the first thing we're going to do is the guy is going to let go with his right hand, which is the girl's left hand, right? So you let go here, but notice how this hand is still holding, right? So then I pull her around like this, and at this point behind my back, I'm switching her hand from my left hand to my right hand, and I pull it around, and I'm like this. So now, gentlemen, let go of your lady's left hand with your right hand, and then you pull her across like this, switch hands over her head, and we're back in position. Okay, so what happens at this point? Well, the good news is we continue on with the dance, right? And we're now going to do the exact same thing that we did before. There's only one part that's a little different, but don't worry, it's much later, and I'll tell you when we get there. So why don't we continue on with the dance? Six hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we do it again. Now walking. Keep that tension, lean out. Okay, and let's stop for a moment. So, what was different about the second part than the first part? We plotted for an extra sequence. The first time we plotted one sequence and began to walk and clap. The second time you do the plottler sequence twice and then you walk and clap. That's the one difference that we have between the first part and the second part. Any questions on that? Okay. Well, the good news is the fun has not ended yet. We've got one more part of the dance. And this part of the dance is actually very similar to the second part, except the very end of it, more or less the ending sequence of the dance, is a little bit different. So why don't we continue on with the third part with music. It's exactly like the part we just did. And I'll stop us before we get to the part that's different. Ready? Okay, and so we're about to finish up the dance. So what we're going to do, that plottler sequence of 6 and 9, we're going to do it one more time. And then we do it a second time. And as we finish it up the second 6 and 9, I'm going to stop to begin the third sequence, and I am going to yuxen. And that will then be the job of the 4 plottler in your verein to yuxen at that part. Because what's going to happen is at that point, the lady who has been spinning behind you, what's she going to do, DeeAnne?
The women are going to waltz, step through, and come to behind their guy for the end figure and be at about this position. And it's also good to have a little bit of spacing between the guys, otherwise sometimes with the windmill it hits the head. So
Yeah.
watch out for that. And also, one other thing to watch out with this dance is make sure that only the four-plattler does the Euxin and only when it belongs, or you'll have girls waltzing through your circle when you don't want them.
Yes, this is
That's our cue.
this is the one dance where Euxin throughout the dance is not encouraged. So anyways, you'll hear that Euxin, and what I do, I think with the timing it works easiest so it doesn't throw you off.
Rudy was just showing the end pose.
Yeah. I always do the Euxin as I swing down like this. Yeah! Right? So we start that third part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the way the men end, as opposed to finishing the sequence, down on one knee, left hand holding your girl's left hand, right hand holding your girl's left hand, looking adoringly into her eyes. Oh.
The Plattler sequence has 8 measures. The second part has 8 measures.
Yeah.
And the girls, you will Euxin at the beginning of the last 4.
Yes.
So at the beginning of measure 5, you Euxin, and then the girls got 4 measures to go around. We keep Plattling, and then we're down at the end.
I think it's 7. Isn't it measure 7?
No, it is halfway through. So basically for girls, what you're listening to, this is, you know, a 3-section dance. When we're basically halfway through the Plattler part of the 3rd section is where the Euxin comes in. That gives us long enough to waltz through and around and be in place basically right as our guys are going into the end figure. So I believe Rudy's count.
Okay, yeah, that's what he's talking about.
We'll find out when we have the music.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't we try it all the way through with the music? Please, nobody Euxin. Regardless of how much fun you're having, do not Euxin during the dance. And remember, the first part is the shorter part, the second part is the long part, and the third part is almost as long as the second part, but with the ending pose as opposed to finishing up the Plattler. Fritz.
Before we go all the way through, can we do the ending sequence once?
Yes. Okay, so here's an idea. Why don't we, we'll start out the ending Plattler, having just spun out the girls, doing the stomping part, and we're now going to begin the ending Plattler. Why don't we start right there? Ending Plattler. So we just turn out the girls? Okay, I'm sorry, wasn't ready. So yeah, we're gonna start with the stomping part, and then the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. No, you had it right. That's it, Fritz. You got it. I think so, yeah. No, which part?
Where you're stomping?
Stomp, left, stomp, right, stomp. Wait. God damn it, it's so hard without the music. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, so it's stomp, 1, stomp, forward, left, back, left, stomp. That's it. Gosh. Okay. Okay. Now. Okay. I'd say at this point, let's all try it together. We'll be under the watchful eye of Adam Herrick, and we'll see how we did at the end of it. We'll recap. We'll see if there's any places we need to work on a little more, or we'll see if we've got it relatively well. So. They're still working on it. Okay, all right, let's get started all the way through.
Remember, opposite hands. I'm saying that to remind myself.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. All right. So that is the Chiemgauer. If you ever notice at the end of the night, your left leg is more sore than your right, you might have been dancing the Chiemgauer. So thank you very much. That is our Chiemgauer workshop.